All right, everyone. My name is Pascal Borel and I speak to you from the Swiss mountains. Switzerland, my country, is still considered as a very functional democracy nowadays by many. When I listen to many content creators in France, in the US, in England, in many other places, Switzerland is still very much respected as one of the first democracy in the history of mankind, in the sense that, we vote for democracies in 1291, in 1315, and then in 1415, fighting against the Habsburg at the time in order to conquer our freedom. So it wasn't quite democracies, but since 1291, i.e. 700 years ago, we were getting together and voting, raising our hands in order to take the decision that controlled the way we lived together. It is true that it's a tradition in Switzerland. Fact of the matter is, today, are we still a functional democracy? Are we still preserving the rights of the citizens, the freedom of the citizens? Or have we become a pure cash machine, the most amazing cash machine ever invented in the history of mankind? It's a question that I'm asking you. Because I'm going to give you a few examples of the way the Constitution and the legal framework has drifted to defend financial interests only. As a quick example, why do you think that the last Football World Cup was organized in Qatar? Is it because our Qatari friends, have football clubs in each and every village, that they get together every Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon to watch the football matches and so forth? Well, of course not. Of course not. It is probably because they've paid the people voting for the attribution for the country that would receive the FIFA Football World Cup. And this happened, of course, in Switzerland, because the FIFA headquarters, as the UEFA headquarters, are all in Switzerland. How do you think that the Olympic Committee, which is of course located in Lausanne, Switzerland, the French part of Switzerland, is actually talking about setting the Winter Olympics in Saudi Arabia? A country that, I'm talking about the Winter Olympics here, a country that has probably not seen a flake of snow since thousands of years. Can you imagine the impact, into the environmental impact it will have to create the snow, put it on mountains or sand dunes in order to organize a Winter Olympic downhill race, skiing downhill, in a country which probably reaches 40 degrees in the shade like every afternoon since centuries? Maybe I'm misinformed, but I would trust that the votation, the election of the country receiving the Winter Olympics will be driven not by environment or by the presence of mountains, no, purely by cash. And this is possible in Switzerland because the legal framework protects the financial interests of each and every one. My assumption today is that the legal framework of Switzerland doesn't protect its citizen. I am myself in a situation with a few banks which have, as company culture, the remorseless search for profit. I would almost say that the clients are a necessary burden weighing on their shoulders. And I've been trying to speaking with them, sitting around the negotiation table to share the goods and the bads of this situation, to share some of the mistakes that have been made, in which, let's face it, they've infringed the legal framework. And I'm not here talking about, small regulations like the building regulation at a canton level. No, I'm talking about federal rules, which is another type of thing. But they don't want to speak to me. They prefer to hide behind the legal framework, behind the code of procedure, which they think is going to protect them from the asymmetrical war I'm going to deliver if we cannot negotiate and share the financial damages. I'm not even talking about human damages, because on my side, I've lost, as I said, my family. I've lost my son. I've lost my daughter. So it doesn't get any worse than that from a human perspective to me. And I'm trying to convince them that hiding behind the code of procedure is not going to protect them. But they're not even listening to me, because what they're after as the leader of a financial institution, which is within the five biggest bank of Switzerland, is not to commit any major mistakes. This is their way to lead. This is their way to manage the company, because they know that if they make a major mistake, they'll be sacked immediately. On the other hand, if they hide behind the code of procedure, say, oh, no, I've done everything that was in my power, following the process in order to avoid capital damages, reputational damage, and so forth. I mean, it's mind-boggling. In this life, I'm, I think, more well known for the value I have created in each and every company that I've worked for, in each and every company that I've raised, built, some of which I was the president of the board or an administrator, quite often a managing director or a director, very simply put. And I hate to think that I'll have to destroy the capital or the reputation or even the work of people having worked along my side. But when you corner someone, well, you don't leave him much choice. And of course, if you corner a mouse or a snail or a nice little animal, you're not taking much risk. But if you corner me, of course I'm going to strike back. And it's going to be completely asymmetrical. The Damocles sword I have hanging above those people, they don't even realize the damage they're going to create for themselves and for others. And the beauty is they're so predictable as well, because when you follow the code of procedure, you don't go out of certain boundaries. Myself, I don't have a code of procedure. I respect the rules and regulation. I respect the legal framework, because I do think our freedom and everything we can do is coming from there. So we need to respect it. Yes, but as long as it defends human values, not only your bottom line, your financial interests. And what I'm saying here is that I have the advantage of the white, as we say in chess. And I'll always be ahead by 3 to 10 days on each and every action. And so before they make anything public, I'll be on air, on YouTube, on all my various channels, Rumble, BitChute, ODYSEE, Dailymotion, but also all the social networks with my story. And this is going to destroy capital. But again, it's not my decision. It's a management decision. And I'm not there to make it. I cannot. I can just suggest that we sit together and we find a win-win situation. And furthermore, today, I've been stolen by the legal framework and the code of procedure, literally all my assets. My phone is not in my name. My computer ain't in my name. I have sold everything I had. And in a sense, you see one of the poorest men and therefore a free man before the camera. I'm a free man. I'm free of my actions. And, you know, if I have to defend myself or counterattack, or even if I have to be sent to jail for a few months or years, I don't care. I want to be able to face my kids in the morning and say to them, I've stuck to my values, I've stuck to my guns, and I will defend what will make your world a place that you can blossom, that you can strive in, that you can enjoy, and that you can be proud of. And today, I doubt Switzerland is offering me this. I doubt Switzerland and any other democracies actually is offering any of what I've just described to my kids and future generations. We need to restructure not only the constitution, but probably the legal framework. Because again, if applied stricto sensu, it would send 85+% of the Swiss population behind bars, or at least with a fine and a criminal record. This is how, seen from the inside, Switzerland works today. Financial interests, financial interests, financial interests. I think that's about it for now. Peace out.